All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today for this month's virtual panel discussion. My name is Sky Kellogg, and I will be your host for today's event. AdventHealth spans across 9 states with over 50 hospitals, home health and hospice agencies, and urgent care facilities. Today, we have the pleasure of having our very first discussion highlighting our AdventHealth family in Hendersonville, North Carolina. We will hear from team members from our home health team and the AdventHealth Hendersonville Hospital facility. If you are joining us today from any other state outside of North Carolina, drop where you're watching us from in the chat. We'd love to know. We know that North Carolina is one of the most desirable states to move to, and this conversation will certainly encourage you to make that move and join this incredible team. So, without further delay, let us meet our panelists. If we could, let's start with Anne. If you could, Anne, just share your title, role, and how long you've been with AdventHealth. And I'm sorry, Anne, if you are speaking, do you mind seeing if you're muted?
I apologize for that. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no problem.
My name is Ann Marr. I've been with AdventHealth almost 29 years. I originally started at the hospital with inpatient and outpatient, and then transferred to home health about 25 years ago, and have been here ever since.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Anne. And Lindsay.
Hey, I'm Lindsay. I've been with Advent for just over a year now, and I'm the nursing clinical manager with home health with Anne.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. And Christian.
Thanks, Sky. My name is Chris Rominger, and I'm the Human Resources Director here at AdventHealth Hendersonville. Been here since September of last year, and I came from an HCA facility in North Carolina.
Thank you. And Abby?
Hi, I'm Abby Gudge. I'm the Administrative Director of Clinical Services here. I have been here a little over 2 years, but been in the healthcare within this area for a little over 12 years now. So excited to be here and to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, Abby. I appreciate it. And finally, Lee.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lee Dibert. I'm the Director of Surgical Services. I've been with AdventHealth just shy of 1 year.
Wonderful. And thank you, all of you, for the 5 of you for joining us today. We are so grateful to be able to hear from both our home health and hospital facility team members in Hendersonville. As I stated, this is our very first discussion focusing on North Carolina. So glad to be able to have this today. Please, again, chat with us. Let us know where you're watching from. Keep engaged throughout the conversation. We do want you to know that your mics have been placed on mute. So again, we encourage you to be active by sharing comments and questions in the chat. We do have a designated Q&A time at the conclusion of our panel discussion, so we'll ensure that the panelists have time to address your questions live. So again, we value your participation and look forward to a very interactive session this afternoon. So to begin with our panel discussion, I would love to discuss AdventHealth Hendersonville. And Chris, if you could, give us a brief overview of your facility.
Sure, thank you so much. So AdventHealth Hendersonville is a 103-bed community hospital that services Henderson, Buncombe, Haywood, Polk, and Transylvania counties here in Western North Carolina. And within our hospital, we have a 13-bed baby place with a dedicated OR. We've got 37 med-surg beds, 12 ICU beds, 36 behavioral health beds. And then we've got a state-of-the-art surgical services department as well. And we're located about 25 minutes from downtown Asheville and about 13 minutes from downtown Hendersonville. So really good location with proximity to both of those growing areas.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Chris. And I see that we have someone joining us from Asheville in the chat. So thanks for being a part of the conversation today. And Abby, how do you foster the AdventHealth culture being one of the facilities that is located in North Carolina? So how do you keep that culture alive there?
Absolutely. So it's really the culture is all about the team, right? And so it's our mission is to extend the healing ministry of Christ. We do that by offering whole person care, and part of that whole person care is really taking care of the human mind, body, and spirit. So whether that's the patients and the care that we provide them each and every day, or if it's our team members themselves. they deserve that whole person care as well. So when it comes to fostering culture, it's treating one another like family. So from day one, you're treated as family. You're loved, you're supported. We put measures in place to make sure our team members have a voice, that they are leading the way within our organization, that they are the change agents and they're the ones behind driving the change. The leadership here is here to support that. And again, to really listen and foster those that are at the bedside, those that are putting their hands on the patients know best. And it's our job to give them what they need to be successful and feel whole and to feel as though they are a part of a team and a family that's doing the work and carrying the load. We're just here to support and help them to be successful in that.
Thank you so much, Abby. And if you're joining us today and you've been on a virtual panel discussion before or have some sort of semblance of understanding of AdventHealth and who we are as an organization, hopefully you see the beautiful connection as to how well connected we are. Me being here in Florida and our team joining us from North Carolina, you hear the same message over and over. So thank you for that wonderful review, Abby, of how you keep that culture alive. And for those that, again, are listening in and who have heard this before, hopefully that brings you some peace knowing no matter where you're at, no matter where you're traveling to, maybe if you're visiting, you know you're going to get that same sort of care and love being within an AdventHealth facility. So thank you for that. And Lindsay, being a part of our home health team, you are out in the community. So can you talk about what the community is like surrounding our facilities?
Yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely gorgeous. We're nestled in the mountains. So tons of outdoor activities, hiking, waterfalls, all sorts of great outdoor spaces, Pisgah National Forest, which is amazing for hiking. And we're also close to Asheville. There's the famous Biltmore House. Greenville is a bigger city that's nearby. So it's a really great location that's convenient to a lot of different areas. And then just the area itself, I mean, people come here during leaf season because the fall is just gorgeous. So it is just a gorgeous place to live. And then the community of people that live in this area is really, really special. It's a really great place.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. And one of the main reasons we want to have this conversation today, it's one of two reasons. So one, we have an upcoming hiring event, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But then we also want to have this conversation to be able to help advertise the fact that there is a new medical office building that will be popping up in this area as well. So AdventHealth is always growing and expanding. So Christian, could you talk about what has led to this decision to open a new medical office building?
Certainly. Thanks, Sky. So AdventHealth Hendersonville has been working really closely with an orthopedic provider group here in the area known as Southeastern Sports Medicine. And so that Southeastern Sports Medicine has 18 orthopedic providers. And so they've committed to joining the AdventHealth team. And so we've entered into an agreement with them to support their services. And being a high volume orthopedic group, that leads to a significant increase in surgical volumes, imaging procedures, and just general orthopedic cases with our physician enterprise teams. And so in order to accommodate this, we need to double the size of our current OR. We need to accommodate the 100 support team members that will be coming over as part of this transition who support these providers. And then we also need to build out space for future growth. So a lot of individuals and a lot of teams have been flocking to our facility in the last few years, and it's led to some significant space constraint issues. And so with this orthopedic provider group that's coming on board, we're completely gutting the second floor of our hospital to add additional observation beds, in addition to building out this new building. So all that's very exciting, but we know that this is not the last provider group that's going to be coming to join our team. And so the third floor of this medical office building is still to be determined, but we're exploring some pretty interesting partnerships with that. And yeah, really just there's a lot of growth in Western North Carolina. There are a lot of individuals who want to come work here. There are a lot of patients who want to come here because of the unique service that we provide. And so we're going to have to build and grow in order to accommodate for that in the coming years.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Yeah, exciting to be a part of an area that is growing and expanding. So, lots to be offered there. And Lee, if you could just dive into a little bit more about the services that will be offered through this new facility, and then what kind of job opportunities we can expect from this opening as well.
I am happy to answer those questions for you, Sky. The new outpatient surgery center will be a multi-specialty focus where we will have outpatient spine, general orthopedics, total joints to include hip, knee, and shoulders, general surgery, urology, ENT, and some limited gynecology. Opportunities for employment will include any roles that are supported in surgical services, whether that's from an operating room circulating RN to a certified and or non-certified scrub tech, pre-op RNs, PACU RNs, PCTs to help support our hardworking RNs and techs. We will also be looking for additional first assists and support staff to include surgery aides and additional PAT nurses as well.
Incredible. So for those of you listening, if you're wondering if there's an opportunity for you, it sounds like more than likely there will be. There are so many openings coming from this expansion. So on the clinical and non-clinical side of things, and yeah, sorry, Lee, go right ahead.
So, yes, and I don't want to leave out that we are also looking for certified and non-certified sterile processing techs as well. So that's going to be a very important position for us to recruit for.
Wonderful. Yeah. Definitely wide variety. Thank you, Lee, for going into detail for that and the wonderful opportunities to come. Hopefully lots of job opportunities for those listening, and excited to be able to see how many of you join us in one of those positions. So thanks for that overview, Lee. And then, Anne, can you talk about some ways that you facilitate internal growth? AdventHealth really focuses on growth from within. So what does that look like for you all?
In our department, we have physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech and nursing and social work, and we provide extra projects or activities that they can do or participate in for ongoing with our EPIC education, with certified training and our OASIS, things like that. We've promoted from within. I was a clinician in the field for many years, and I enjoyed that, and finally agreed to come into the office. So I've been in here, and I'm now the assistant clinical manager over all the therapy department. Lindsay was also, she was our educator and has recently been promoted to our assistant clinical manager for nursing. So we do try to promote within as much as possible.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that overview, Anne. And obviously, you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, team, but just the fact that your area provides, your facilities provide exceptional care. So obviously that care gets awarded, and there are lots of awards to be won and had that you can speak to our team members and those that are listening today about. So I want to start with Lindsay. If you could just speak to the awards and a recognition that home health has received in your area.
Yeah, absolutely. So recently we did get an award for outstanding patient satisfaction, and we always score really high there. So that's amazing that our patients that we're serving are recognizing the exceptional care that we're giving. Also, our staff individually, we have tons of staff that have our home health aide has multiple times won the Sunshine Award. Our social worker won a big award last year for the service standard of Love Me. So all of our staff also individually exemplify what Advent stands for, and it's great to work for an organization and an agency that also recognizes that excellence. And then again, the high patient satisfaction is probably what we're most proud of, because that's at the heart of what we do, is taking care of our patients.
Absolutely. And Chris, same question for you. How can you speak to those awards and recognition of your facility and how that translates into the patient's care that they receive?
Oh, for sure. So we've earned 16 straight Leapfrog Grade A hospital safety scores. And so we're the only hospital in Western North Carolina to have earned that designation that consistently in the last 16 years. We are a 5-star CMS facility. So one of the few that bounced back actually post-COVID and came back to 5 stars. A lot of hospitals took a dip and stayed down, but we didn't. And then Mountain Express, so that's a People's Choice survey. It's a local paper in Western North Carolina, and they consistently rank us the #1 hospital. And that's been the case for the last 3 years in a row. So very proud of that. As Lindsay mentioned, our patient satisfaction is very high. Just for an example, our inpatient likelihood to recommend is 98 right now, year to date, and it's #2 in all of AdventHealth. And so our patients have a great experience here, and it's a direct reflection of our leaders and the support that we provide to our teams.
That's incredible. And again, just to really hit home what Chris said, there are over 50 AdventHealth hospitals. So for you all to be #2 within that list is very, very impressive. So always wonderful to hear about the awards and the recognition that you all have obviously very well earned, and great to be able to share that with those listening and hopefully those watching this recording later on as well. And I see some questions in the chat in regards to what everyone is hiring for. I know Lee talked a lot about the roles that were coming in the new medical office building, but if we could just in general highlight some of the current hiring needs that you have in your areas. So Abby, do you mind if I start with you and you can talk a little bit to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we are hiring into our float pool. We've got some day shift and some night shift positions. Our float pool supports med surg, ICU, behavior health, OB to some extent, and our emergency department. So our float pool gets to carry or has the opportunity to get to experience many different departments. And we're also hiring in our med surg area. So we've got some night shift positions that are currently posted. Would love to fill with the right candidates. But at present time, that's what I've got from an inpatient setting.
Thank you so much, Abby. And then Lee, if I could jump to you in regards to surgical services.
Sure. Well, I discussed what we're looking for, and for the outpatient, but for the inpatient side, we support those same service standards and opportunities as a scrub tech, nurses in all departments, support techs, being both inside the OR and outside the OR, again, sterile processing, and currently also recruiting for anesthesia CRNAs.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Lindsay, do you mind speaking to home health as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are hiring, I speak to nursing. I know we're always hiring nurses, as Christian mentioned. Advent in this area is always looking to expand. So registered nurses, we do have CNA positions as well. And then I'll let Ann speak to the therapy positions.
As we hire new nurses, that we will also be growing our therapy department, which would be physical therapist, occupational therapist, assistants, as well as speech therapist. So as Lindsay hires nurses, we hire therapists to go along with it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I just want to say too, we're always looking for really good team members. So if we don't have that perfect position, but you want to get your foot in the door and you're willing to work in a department, we work really, really closely with our leadership and our team to get our team members to where they ultimately want to be within the organization, or where their heart leads them, right? Whatever department and role really fills their cup. So I do want to say, as we continue to grow, more and more opportunities are going to expose themselves and more opportunities are going to be available. So if you did have interest and we don't necessarily have a posting at present, please still reach out to us so we can connect you with that leadership. Or again, if there's a way to get your foot into the door and you're going to be a phenomenal team member and you want to be a part of our team, we want to find a way to make it work. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, wonderfully said. Thank you, Abby, for that. I appreciate that. And obviously, all of us touched on growth a little bit, and I really want to expand upon that because I know there's even more growth that hasn't yet been mentioned. So, Chris, would you mind speaking to the future growth facility-wise in your area as well?
Certainly. Thanks, Sky. So we entered into an agreement with St. Luke's Hospital in Columbus, North Carolina, and that was finalized just a few weeks ago. But that's going to be an entirely new facility that we're bringing into the AdventHealth fold effective October 1st of this year. So there will be opportunities there. I don't know what they are yet, but I wanted to also say we are in the works right now with the architects to build a new hospital in Asheville in North Carolina in Buncombe County. And it's going to be an 85-bed community hospital that will service Buncombe, Graham, Madison, and Yancey counties. So that'll be an entirely new facility where we will provide inpatient, surgical, labor and delivery, and emergency care services. So we'll have a 13-bed baby place, 42 med-surg beds, 18 observation beds, state-of-the-art surgery suite similar to what we have at this facility. Then we're going to have another ED with 12 beds there. So we're going to have imaging, lab, and other ancillary services at that hospital. And so what I wanted to say about that is we know that Western North Carolina, all of the colleges and all of the schools do not produce enough staff members to staff that hospital. And it would be ridiculous if we staffed a hospital with brand new folks fresh out of school. Anyway, so we are going to need all hands for that new facility. And I know particularly when you're looking at the international space in terms of figuring out, timing for prospective candidates that could fill vacancies at that hospital, we're going to have to fill in 2027 and 2028 400 to 600 vacant positions for that hospital. And Western North Carolina produces about 400 new graduate nurses every year, and that's just nursing. And our competitor up the road, HCA, they've got anywhere from 400 to 500 vacant nurse positions at any given time. So we know that it's going to be difficult for us to fill every position at that new hospital if we do not lean on highly qualified international team members to come and join our team. So I'm super excited about that. We're actively having discussions around what our needs are going to be for that facility right now, and we're building it out with the architects. So if you're on this call and you're an international team member and you're interested in growth in that facility, please connect with Madison and the others on our team that can get you the information you need to join our team.
Thank you so much for that, Chris. And that is a wonderful thing to think about for all of you that are joining internationally. I know some of you dropped in the chat. We have a handful of you that are, so thank you for taking time to join us today. And yes, thank you, Madison, for dropping more information in the chat. Continue to watch our jobs page. We have a whole page dedicated to our international team members and how we can help get you on board. So appreciate you joining, and thank you for that insight, Chris, for those team members to look forward to. And for those of you that are just looking for some general ideas of what to be prepared for when we are interviewing you and looking for you to join our team, if you could, Abby, just touch on some of the technical skills and soft skills that you all look for when you're looking for that future candidate to fill any open position that you all may have.
Yeah. So I think first and foremost, we're looking for someone who can carry out our mission. And with that, of course, it's to extend the healing ministry of Christ. But with that, we have 4 service standards that we really align with. And those are love me, keep me safe, make it easy, and own it. So I know as hiring leaders, we're looking for team members that can live up to those service standards each and every day, that can provide high-level quality care to our patients that's not just compassionate, but it's a level of uncommon compassion. It's over and beyond. It puts us at the top that makes our patients want to come back because of the care they received from us. So we're looking, of course, for just those, the ability to treat the whole person and to have that uncommon compassion and live out those service standards. From a hard skill, again, that really does need to align with the department in which you're going to work in this service area. The beautiful thing is if you can get your foot in the door and you want an opportunity to grow or expand on your knowledge base or advance your degree, we have great programs in place to help make that happen. So let's say you wanted to start off in med surg, but eventually you knew ICU is where you wanted to be. Well, we'll help you get there and grow your skills and develop those skills to get there. So that's pretty much when it comes time to interview. Best thing I can tell team members is give us your why. Tell us why you're going to be the right fit for this organization. And I hope I've given you the tools to success of what we're looking for.
Absolutely. Thank you, Abby. Definitely focusing on those service standards, mission, who we are, our culture is at the core of what makes us all different as an organization, right? We are unique to that calling that we all have as being a part of AdventHealth. So I think you did a beautiful job explaining that. And hopefully our team members, our future team members listening, that will help them in their interview process as well. And I want to switch gears and ensure we give some time to highlight our surgical services department because we have a lot of needs there and we have Lee joining us today. So Lee, I would love if you could just talk about what technology you all have in your surgical services department that sets you apart.
Sure, I'd love to. We have a lot of really cool toys and equipment in the OR. We have an XI intuitive robot. We have advanced navigation for both spine and ENT. We have many modalities for total joint robotic navigation, including the Navio and the Velis service lines. We have navigation for both prostate as well, several advanced laser options. We have NanoKnife, we have HIFU, and the last thing I can think of that's unique to us is we have PTI, which is we're the only ones in the Western North Carolina area to have this available, but it helps with parathyroid detection, so that to ensure that we're getting just the right parathyroid and not taking any of the thyroid tissue as well.
Thank you. And Lee, obviously, lots, like you said, lots of different unique surgical services technology that you have. But what about the training? What sort of specific training do you offer team members and how do you help upskill them in your area?
That's a great question, Sky, and thank you for asking that. I want to reiterate with and touch on what Abby said, is that when we're looking for new team members, we look equally at what your skill set is, but we also look equally for who you are as a person. We want to make sure that we're getting the right folks to meet the culture of our team. We also pride ourselves on meeting the candidates where they're at. We hire new grads right out of school. We'll hire nurses that have been in med surg or ICU but want to try out the OR. And those training programs for both new grads and folks new to the OR are about 6 months training for RNs. We hire new grads right out of school for certified surgical techs. That training is about 3 months. But we also love our experienced folks as well. And those we usually plan for about 3 months orientation. However, we let them pace themselves. We have some experienced folks that come out and they're done with orientation in 6 weeks. And we have others that take the entire 3 months. And sometimes they need a little refresher in other areas. If say perhaps, for instance, if they haven't been on a robot in a few years, we'll give them an extended few weeks in that area to make sure that they're comfortable, because it's about making sure that they're not just competent but comfortable, because when a scrub tech or a nurse is comfortable, it's a lot better for both the surgeon, the patient, and the team.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lee. And we've touched on this facility and our home health team members and how ingrained you all are in the community and how much effort and just time that you've put in to get yourselves where you are. But this facility, the hospital facility itself, has had roots in the community for over 100 years. And if you could just talk to how home health really builds upon that continuum of care that's provided by AdventHealth as a whole.
Okay, with our home health clients, we have a lot of repeat patients. Personally, I've had some that I saw on and off 10, 15 years that I got to go back and see them. They were pleased with our services and always came back to us. We have a lot that go through the hospital. We are the preferred provider for the hospital, as well as some other skilled nursing facilities in town. We have a wonderful working relationship with our physicians as well as our wound care center, where we're back and forth. Lindsay talks to the wound center almost daily regarding patients that we have with them. So we have clients that we have serviced for many years. Participating in the community, the hospital has participated in Habitat, building a house. They've gone on mission trips to other places, as well as doing things locally to support our local community.
Wonderful. Thank you, Anne. And Chris, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that in regards to just the roots that you all have in your community as the hospital facility as well?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we are very deeply connected in the community at all levels. And one example of that was our recent Certificate of Need award that we received to be able to build this new hospital in Buncombe County. And so I don't know if you guys know, but Western North Carolina, there's one hospital system that has about 51 to 52% of the market share in all of Western North Carolina. And it's Mission HCA. And basically in North Carolina, when someone wants to build a new hospital, the state has to award what's called a Certificate of Need. And that's basically a certificate that shows, hey, there's a need for a new hospital or X amount of new hospital beds, and different hospitals can compete for those beds. And so there were many hospitals that competed for the beds that were awarded to be able to build this new hospital in Buncombe County. And AdventHealth Hendersonville had over 4,300 handwritten letters of support from members of our community. And that's why we were selected to build that hospital over large hospital systems in Eastern North Carolina, from Charlotte, and over HCA, who also asked for those same beds to be able to build out one floor in their massive hospital. And so we were only able to accomplish that because we're so deeply connected in the community across the entire state. And same goes for this partnership with St. Luke's Hospital in Columbus that starts on October 1st. That would not have been possible had we not had significant community support that ultimately supported politicians and others who were able to help us with securing that agreement to be able to expand in Western North Carolina. So it's at every level. It's from Anne and her team and Lindsay's team all the way up to our CEO and the boards that we sit on and the organizations that we support. So it's that deep connection that's really building this foundation for us to grow in Western North Carolina.
That's amazing. So many handwritten letters just to show support. And I think that just speaks volumes to the level of care received and how each of you have impacted your community in special ways, and all the team members that you work with as well. So thank you for sharing that, Chris. That's really amazing work. And I know you all have touched on the fact that your location is beautiful. It's incredible. If you haven't had the chance to visit North Carolina, or specifically Hendersonville in the Asheville area, certainly recommend that, as all these team members have. But Lindsay, how does your current location impact your view of your day-to-day as a home health team member?
Yeah, that's one of the really unique things about home health, is that we are getting to go and give the care in the patient's home. So instead of them coming to us, we're getting to go to their house. So really, really unique. And then you get to do it in this beautiful area where you might have a 30-minute drive through the mountains, but you really get to feel that connection to the community that Christian spoke to, and that Advent really, truly is deeply embedded in this community. And there's a deep level of trust that we've been able to develop. And so as the home health team with Advent, we get to be the boots on the ground that extend that into their home when we give them care. So it's a really unique part of healthcare. And then to be able to do it in such a beautiful geographic location is just amazing.
I love it. And Lindsay, I know we touched a little bit on partnerships already, but how does home health leverage partnerships in the community?
Yeah, so we have a full-time nurse who is deeply embedded in the nursing facilities, works closely with our doctors' offices. She also works really hard with, for example, like the Council on Aging locally, and she'll develop educational opportunities to also provide education to our community, to go above and beyond, not just giving care, but really trying to stay connected to our community and really help the community as a whole with their health and wellness. And mentioned some of it, Habitat for Humanity, we participate in United Way volunteering. So almost a daily basis, we literally have someone in the community developing those relationships and working hard for our community.
Perfect. Thank you, Lindsay. And Christian, did you want to add anything in regards to different partnerships that you all have within the community as well from the hospital standpoint?
Yeah, so I'll give you one example. So our DEI Council, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, one of the areas that we chose to focus on was growing our recruitment and connection with our Hispanic team members in Henderson and Buncombe counties. And so we know that through research and speaking with our team members that really starts with creating a foundation of trust, and really establishing those bonds with their families and with grandparents, et cetera. And so when we started to do this work, we looked and we said, who on our team has connections with some of these organizations already? And we reached out, and it turns out there's a team member on our patient experience team who is well connected with 3 of the organizations already. She was able to help me get an introduction, and then now we're able to go and support some of those events. But the connections are so deep that it's just really hard to quantify. I'll give you one other example. One of our leaders who is over government relations and public relations, he used to work for a prominent U.S. senator years ago, but he's been with AdventHealth for the last 15 or 20 years. And, we told him that we wanted to build out a space across the street for educating our teams, for building a sim lab, and for having a, orientation space for new team members. And so he is also the chair of the Workforce Development Board in Western North Carolina. And so within a matter of weeks, he identified a $1.9 million grant that we applied for that will allow us to build out that space. We haven't heard back if we've gotten it yet, but that's just an example of the ties are so deep that it's everywhere you turn. So yeah, I would just say, anywhere you think that there could be a positive community tie, we've got someone here that's there, and that's, driving all this growth that we have in the region.
Amazing. So much work being uplifted by you all in very unique and individual ways. So thank you for that support for your future team members and your community as well. So Christian, to direct this question to you as well, if you could just give a high-level overview of the benefits that new team members can expect when they join the AdventHealth family there with you all.
Oh man, well, we're excited about this because we've got a lot of positive changes that are coming that I can't tell you about just yet, but we've got a lot of great benefits that we have right now. So benefits starting day 1 for our team members. So you have 10 days to enroll in your medical insurance, but it applies retroactively. So my second day working here, my daughter busted her head on our TV stand, and I had to take her to urgent care. And so luckily I didn't have to get Cobra to have that visit covered. It was day 2 at AdventHealth, and so I was able to go meet the team as part of that visit. But benefits day 1, huge benefit. We also contribute to your 403B, 2.6%. So 403B is like a 401k at nonprofit organizations. And a lot of employers will just match what you contribute. For example, if you contribute 4%, your employer might contribute half of that, or they might match that. And so AdventHealth contributes before our team members contribute at all. And so we put 2.6% into that every pay period. And then if you want to contribute to that, we will match on top of that basic contribution. So that's free money. For our patient-facing team members, we have student loan repayment. And that's a really good one because, you might hear like, go to school for free. We offer tuition reimbursement. Yes, we do that too. Other people do too, but other people don't pay back your loans. So for example, if you're a patient-facing team member in a full-time position, you can get $200 a month paid each month to your student loans. So when you add that up over the year, $2,400 a year, and that's not just for nurses, like that's any patient-facing team member. So really big benefit there. It's slightly less for part-time team members, but still awesome. No one else is doing that. And then what I'll also add is our career pathways. So we build out career pathways in a variety of ways in all of our areas. So you might come in as a pharmacy technician with no experience, no certification. You could be a tech 2, a tech 3, a tech 4, a tech specialist, a tech supervisor, all without a bachelor's degree, and be making, upwards of $35 an hour pretty quickly. So that's a huge benefit. So we build out pathways like that in many of our departments, and we're doing it all the time. We also contribute learning and growth through our professional excellence program that's specific to AdventHealth, but it's a nationally recognized program that rewards team members for doing things that they already do. So participating in charge duties as a nurse, for essentially, learning about their field, completing projects. And Abby could speak to this so much better than I am, but you can earn up to 20% on top of your base rate for participating in that program. And so if you have a bachelor's degree, you can earn 10%, and that's effective on day 90 of your employment. So, when you look at an already competitive base rate, and then you add the 403B contributions, you add a great benefits plan, and then you add programs like the Professional Excellence Program and the pathways that we have in our various departments, you can really come here and stay. And that's why so many of our team members choose to stay.
Thank you, Chris, for going over all that. Really amazing benefits. As I believe you can really feel through hearing those, the AdventHealth is trying to take care of you, trying to make it easy for you to continue to grow and learn and get to where you want to be in your career. So when we look at all of these things, obviously a lot of that is what keeps us competitive in the area. But Abby, did you have anything that you would like to add to that in regards to how we stay competitive as an employer in your area?
Yeah, absolutely. To follow Chris, he highlighted a lot of the great things. But I actually knew that this question was coming my way. And so I took the opportunity to go straight to the team members and say, hey, what is it that keeps you here? And so this is directly from our team. I wrote it down, so I'm going to share. But benefits that include paternity leave. There's not many organizations that support giving the father of a newborn time off. Pet insurance, believe it or not, that's a big one. Mental health support, if needed. That's a huge one. Competitive pay. So we are super competitive with our pay from a market standpoint, and work really hard to stay that way. Nurse ratios. So appropriate RN to patient ratios, keeping those at a workable, safe level. So very proud of that. The nurse voice. So we've got shared governance at our hospital. We've got unit-based councils that are led by nurses themselves. We've got a nurse practice council that is leading the way and making changes and looking for process improvements and ideas to help team members grow or do practices better. We've got the PEP program, which is, Chris spoke to it. It's a clinical ladder, equivalent to a clinical ladder program. The beautiful thing about our PEP program is that it's an increase to your base pay. So it's not one lump sum bonus, it's an actual increase to your base pay, which is awesome. Another thing that was really stood out to the team members was our strong, dedicated leaders. I think our hospital has done a phenomenal job getting the right leaders in the right place. And these are leaders that truly love their team and show up for their team and support their team and hear their team. And that just makes the biggest difference in the world to our team. And then lastly, one of the things they really said kept us competitive was that we love to celebrate our team members. So we love to acknowledge great work. We love to acknowledge what they do each and every day. We show them appreciation, and we love to do celebrations around here. So lots of fun times happening, lots of staff engagement. But that was really what they said kept us competitive. It was what we offered, but it was also the environment in which they get to show up and work each and every day.
Abby, thank you for that. And thank you for taking the time to poll your team members and get those real life true reactions to what they're grateful for in having here as a team member at AdventHealth. I think that just is, again, another true testament to your leadership, right? And how you interact with your team and how you understand and connect with them. So thank you for that. And Lindsay, if you could share from your perspective as well, how your home health area stays competitive within the market as well.
Yeah, going off of what both Abby and Christian said, for me, also personally coming from a competitor, AdventHealth truly embodies the whole person health and not just for our patients. And it really truly is extended to our staff members. And you really do feel that. And this team I'm a part of now, both at the agency and with the hospital, it truly feels like a family and is something that I have not felt in any of my other positions before. So I think that's a huge draw, especially in this community, is that you work for an organization that you feel like knows you, knows your name, and cares about you. You're not just a number, working. You're truly a part of the team. And it really, I know we kind of keep saying it, but it's because it is really true. And it's, I think, what sets us apart.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lindsay. I agree. And I think many of our other conversations, again, if you've joined another virtual panel before, that's a phrase that's been used. So again, it just speaks to how genuine it is that we really don't feel like a number, that our team members here are seen, are heard, and are understood as individuals. So I appreciate you sharing that, Lindsay. And to end on a fun note, this question is for anyone who would like to speak up first. Obviously, we have lots of team members joining who do not live in North Carolina and do not know all of the fun things that you all have to do in your free time there. So things that you can enjoy in your work-life balance, of course. So if you could just speak to the festivals, hobbies, activities that you all like to do within the Hendersonville area. And you can just unmute and I can jump to you first. Yeah, Abby, go right ahead.
So I have been here, came from Florida. I've lived in the Asheville, Fairview area for going on 19 years now. And I can tell you the music venue, amazing. Some of the best music shows come our way. We've got Rabbit Rabbit, the Orange Peel, awesome little venues everywhere and throughout. One of my favorite things that I do with my husband, and just an FYI, I've got a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old two boys. So they keep us super active with the outdoors, which doesn't get any better, whether it's skiing at Cataloochee or making a 2-hour trip up to Boone or Banner Elk and going to Sugar Beach. You've got little ski resorts kind of all around you. And then in the summer, you've got hiking, you've got camping, you've got rock climbing, everything you can imagine is here. The 4 seasons, phenomenal. You get all 4, unreal. And then again, what I would probably highlight is one of our favorite things to do, my husband and I, we love the food scene. So some of the best culinary art is here, and it's not just Asheville is known. Their downtown is known for great food and different venues, but we're surrounded by Black Mountain, which is maybe a 30-minute drive. They've got phenomenal restaurants, phenomenal outdoor events. Hendersonville themselves, we're just surrounded, and it's absolutely amazing. The art scene, the culture, so diverse. But if you appreciate kind-hearted people, love the outdoors, love fresh air. I mean, we used to be the tuberculosis capital of the world. People would send family members in here if they had tuberculosis because of the clean mountain air. Not many people didn't know that, but that's true. Like, people came to us for the clean mountain air. So it's just a phenomenal place to live. I can imagine myself anywhere else, but so much to offer.
Thank you so much, Abby. Yeah, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, man, Abby hit the nail on the head. I mean, the concerts are amazing. The shows that you get to go to, there's one happening nearly every weekend. Yeah, mountain biking. I like dirt biking, skateboarding, all the outdoor activities. Like you name it, if it's popular in the city, if it's popular in the mountains, like we've got it here. Zip lining. So, I mean, probably one of the best things about living here is that whenever someone comes to visit that's a family member, you get to be a tourist for the day. So, whether you like drinking or not, you can go to the Sierra Nevada Brewery and catch a show, and it looks like a Willy Wonka factory. You can go downtown Asheville, James Beard nominated restaurants and chefs down there, and just yeah, everywhere you turn, there's so much fun to be had. So yeah, you can do basically anything.
The thing that I like most about this area is that the fact you're only a short drive away from the beach. You're less than 3 to 4 hours away from many of the most beautiful beaches that we have here on the East Coast. And then again, that's in one direction, but if you drive equally 3 to 4 hours, you can be in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, who doesn't enjoy Nashville? So I love the fact that we're centrally located and just a short drive away from so many really cool attractions in the Southeast.
Yeah, we can't not mention that Dollywood is only a 2-hour drive from here. We have seasons passes. My kids and family go all the time. So yeah, just echoing everything that they say. If you get bored in this area, then you're doing something wrong because there's so much to do. And it is great. We always look forward to the Apple Festival here in Hendersonville every year. My kids always look forward to it. We do too. So it's an awesome place to live. Very, very unique and just wonderful.
I had one more thing, like all the Christmas trees, well, like 75% of the Christmas trees that are sold in the US are grown like 45 minutes to an hour away from here. And so you can go with your family and get your Christmas tree. And to Lindsay's point about the apple orchards, like it's probably a similar percentage of apples are produced in Western North Carolina. So in the fall, you can go to these apple orchards with your family and get, fresh cider donuts. It's just, yeah, there's so much to do. So many seasonal activities that, it never gets old.
I really enjoy the hiking. There's a lot of waterfalls in the area within a hour drive. The Appalachian Trail crosses the area multiple times. We can pick that up in many or several of the different counties. And the hiking is pretty incredible.
Well, if you do not want to move yet, I'm not sure what else we can say. So I think for me, again, coming into this conversation, living in Florida currently, Abby got me with the 4 seasons. Wish I could enjoy that. But thank you all so much for sharing so many wonderful things to look forward to in that area. I know we are coming up to the close of our conversation today. It has been truly a wonderful conversation, so many fun facts learned, but ultimately highlighting such an incredible AdventHealth facility and the fact that you all keep our culture so alive and well, being the only facility there currently right now, just as a testament to the team members that are all there. I do want to share in the chat that there is a hiring event coming up a week from today. It is August 14th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For AdventHealth Hendersonville. That will be dropped in the chat. The link there lists the positions that they are looking for. So again, please check that out. And if you're in the area and looking for a new position and that falls within, one of those positions fall within your realm of knowledge, please apply and join us at that event again a week from today. I saw that some questions already were being answered in the chat, but a lot of you were wondering how you could connect with us. Feel free if you would like, if you have not had an email shared with you already, I'm going to put my email in the chat as well in case I can help direct your resume in any area. Again, for those of you that are international attendees, that those websites have been shared with you and there's recruiter specific that are listed at the bottom of those pages that you could connect with as well, and they will be your best resource. And again, for those of you that have questions about that, that will be your best resource to reach out to those recruiters specifically. I did see some questions about remote work opportunities. Those right now are few and far between, but please know that there are occasionally positions listed across the system, and that will clearly state on the job posting if that has come up. And if you have any other questions in the chat, feel free to drop them now. Madison, again, just dropped our international recruitment link in the chat. So for those of you that are looking for more information there, she has just recently dropped that in there too. All right. Team, as we come to a close, are there any closing thoughts or last statements that you'd like to share with any of those that are watching or listening today?
I just want to say thank you. Thanks for joining. This has been fun. We're looking for great team members, and we hope we've been able to connect. But super excited and appreciate everyone who did join.
Absolutely.
Likewise.
Thanks, Sky. Appreciate your help.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a pleasure working with you all. It has been so great to be able to highlight this very special and unique area within AdventHealth. I did see a question pop up in the chat in regards to other areas within AdventHealth. I saw someone from Illinois and Florida. So we do have a centralized area here within Florida where we can help connect you to our other recruitment team members. So again, feel free to use my email that I dropped in there, and I can try and get you in touch with the right person. Again, that's sky.kellogg@adventhealth.com. Happy to forward your resume on to someone within the correct area. But yes, please continue to take care of yourselves and others. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for joining us. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.